Hi, team, and welcome to our first podcast on the Vietnam War. We're going to be backtracking all the way to World War II and talking about how we get into this situation. How do we have two major superpowers in the United States and the Soviet Union supporting communism and democracy in another situation where we are going to hopefully end this war exactly where it started, like we did in Korea? And not to spoil it for you, but that is not going to end up being true. What we see here is a map of where Vietnam is, and what we call the area on the right-hand side is French Indochina, or just Indochina. Indochina consists of Vietnam, Laos, Thailand, and Cambodia. So it's an area very close to China, who we know was communist at the time. The U.S. has concerns over Vietnam because of China and because Korea had still been split into North and South Korea. So we have concerns about this domino theory happening in Asia, that if one country falls, all of it will fall. So the U.S. and Western powers, they want and they need Indochina because Malaysia produces tin and rubber. And then they have the Strait of Malacca, which is the world's shipping passing through. So it can't be blocked. We have to make sure we have access to trade. South Vietnam exports rice, and we have a need for oil from Indonesia. We are going to see this conflict of the Vietnam War is again a conflict. We never actually asked Congress to declare war. We see the years there of 1954 to 1975, but this conflict is going to begin directly after World War II is over. So things that we want to keep in mind is this is a war that the United States did not win. And we've talked a lot this year about when is it okay for the federal government to expand their powers? When should they be given more power during a time of war? When is it acceptable? When have we seen maybe those abuses of power that have taken place? We're going to see a lot of new vocabulary in this chapter too, as far as people with Ho Chi Minh, who's going to be the leader of North Vietnam, the Viet Minh, who are going to be supporters of Ho Chi Minh and also going to be in North Vietnam fighting against the French. The Viet Cong are going to be Vietnamese who support Ho Chi Minh but live in the South. And they're going to also be nicknamed as Charlies by the American soldiers. And the Ho Chi Minh Trail. The Ho Chi Minh Trail is going to be a trail that runs through Laos and Cambodia in order to get supplies from Ho Chi Minh in the north to the Viet Cong who are living in the south to help fight against the United States. So how do we become involved in this, right? How does all of this happen? The United States is going to support Vietnam when the Vietnamese were trying to fight against the Japanese. The Japanese had wanted control over the Vietnamese, and at the end of World War II, Japan has going to start their own revolt. The revolt is going to be led by Ho Chi Minh, who is a practicing communist and looking to become leader of the United States. The United States is going to support Ho Chi Minh in that revolt against the Japanese because we are fighting against them leading into World War II. Ho Chi Minh then is looking to declare Vietnam independent, but France has other plans. Japan had taken Indochina from France, and they were looking to get it back. So we're going to see Vietnam change hands quite a few times, in all of Indochina, really a few times. So we have what we call the First Indochina War. What we know as the Vietnam War is known as the Second Indochina War, the second conflict to happen within those countries of Indochina. So in the First Indochina War, it's France versus the Viet Minh. It's going to go from 1945 to 1954. The Viet Minh, again, are going to be Vietnamese people who are fighting with Ho Chi Minh against the French. So they are supporters of Ho Chi Minh, they are supporters of communism, and they're going to be fighting as an organized group against France in support of Ho Chi Minh. In 1954 will be the actual end of French control and French influence at the Battle of Dien Bien Phu. That is going to be where the Vietnamese are going to try to establish their independence and ask for there to be a possibility for them to be an independent nation away from any other Western powers or the United States. President Eisenhower did not get involved when the French were losing against the Viet Minh and Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, so he did not intervene on their behalf. So what we'll do is in a second, we'll talk about how at the Geneva Accords, we are going to have a breakdown between our leadership, but we're going to end this one now in our intro for Vietnam. Okay, have a great night.